Right. So
let's get into this. Good morning, Candice. How are you?
Hi, Nancy. I'm fine for a Tuesday in August. It's nearly September.
I'm not ready for it.
Hallelujah. School is back.
Yes.
We survived. Well done, mums, dads, aunties, uncles, grannies, grandpas, whoever's been roped in to have the children. It's nearly over. We've survived it.
Is it as that big a deal as what people make out?
It's not, you know, to be fair, I say it's not because obviously I can run my business around the children. They've been roped in, bless them. Georgia and Lila would wake up in the morning and be like, so what jobs have we got on today?
Oh, that's it. How old are they?
9. It's borderline slave labour. But I can imagine if your parents like both work in an office, then yeah, I can imagine it's a big deal. Like, what do you do with your children?
Well, that's it, because you can't. There'd be no point going to work if you had to pay for like childcare, like nursery or whatever.
6 solid weeks of childcare. Just after, I don't know, passing between house to house and IOUs with friends. I'll have them this day. You have them the other.
Oh, that's cute. I've said that. So, have you watched? I bet you won't have. It might be a bit too, like, childy for you, but I'm watching The Summer I Turned Pretty. It's a series on Amazon Prime at the moment. Amazon Prime Video, and it's about these like there's like 3 boys and a girl, and they like grow up together, go on like summer holidays together, and you know, it's so much drama. It's amazing. I'm literally telling everybody about it. But it really made me want to have children at the same time as like one of my friends having children. So like the same age, they grow up together.
Yeah, definitely.
And then I was also thinking, childcare wise, like I'll have them one day, you have them the other day.
So me and my childhood best friend, our babies are 12 weeks apart, and everybody said to us, "Did you plan it? Did you plan it?" And as much as growing up, we always said, "Right, we're having babies together."
Yeah.
Like I've got you.
Yeah.
Like science-wise. You can't plan it.
No.
But yeah, they're 12 weeks apart,
Oh
and I
my
love it. They
God.
are little best friends. In fact, she came around at the weekend, and they're just little besties.
They're 2 girls.
I love it. No, they're boy and a girl, but they love it.
Oh, so you
Yeah.
never know. They could be like husband and wife one day.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Oh God, that's so exciting. I've actually got a bit of a funny story to tell you. On the way here, I was driving down, it was like a dual carriageway, and no word of a lie, this pigeon flew up at the side of my window and literally was looking at me dead in the eye, and I was like, what the hell's going on? And it was obviously like flying next to me. I was like, but you know when you try to concentrate on the road, but then there's also this pigeon like in your line of vision, I was like, what the hell? And it like flew in front of me, and I honestly literally nearly whacked its feathers off its back.
Gracious.
Yeah, it was so weird, but I honestly swear it looked me dead in the eye.
Like, morning, Nancy.
Yeah, love, you got to take some blood. I just wish somebody else could be there to see it, because like, in the moment, I was like, what on earth is going on here?
Oh gosh, imagine, it's good if you didn't have your window open.
It flew in. Crazy.
Wow.
Right, shall we get on to this week's topic? So, we're back with time management.
Take 2.
Take 2, because if you've been following us, you would have known that we didn't manage to get it out when we filmed it before, because we did actually film this episode, and then because of our crappy technical issues, we couldn't put it out because the quality was too bad. So we're back again.
Here we are. Here again.
So we're going to be proper professionals now, time management.
So here we are with our great content.
Great content. Are you ready?
Pushing it out there.
I'm going to kick us off with the question. I've got a very important question for you, and it is, if someone says to you, time management, what do you think of?
Winging it.
It makes me think of like a stopwatch and like counting everything, and
or
being
it
like,
makes me think of like a paperback diary. Do you know, like a to-do list?
Yes.
A spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like really being like, okay, so Monday, 9 a.m. gonna do this.
That's actually how I manage my time.
Do you?
We'll try to, as we will soon get into. That's not what happens.
Yeah, but just I automatically think of like a sergeant major. You're like, right, job 1, we're doing this. Job 2, we're doing this. honestly though, time management for myself, it is winging it, you know, genuinely. I think because I have a business that's not literally like Mondays is this, Tuesdays is that. It all depends on the jobs I have in.
Yeah.
One week I could have a wedding that I've been planning for 12, 18 months with the bride and groom. More often not just the bride, not gonna lie. And then another week I could have a birthday that was booked last week. So my time management on both of them is completely different.
So for like your typical weeks, like as a week as a whole, you know, you've got to be adaptable and you've got to be flexible. But like you'll have got time tools that you've got in place for each job. Like from your experience, like you're gonna know. So say you've got a wedding on.
Yeah.
Like you've been doing this for a few years now, so you know like how long things take you. So do you give yourself extra time? Like what kind of things do you do like for your actual event to manage your time?
Yeah, so let's work back. I always work backwards, to be fair. At the weekend I did actually have somebody say, oh, we're just thinking about what time we need to wrap up in the salon for our event in November. So my immediate question was, what time do you want your event to start? So then I worked backwards and was like, right, I know I want a couple of hours to set up.
Yeah.
So that's with regards to the actual setup. But then the setup of an event is just a minuscule of what people see. Yes. It's the preparation or behind the scenes. I do the things that I least enjoy first. So the vinyl. I hate doing vinyl. It's just
you've worked with vinyl, you know the struggles.
The old cricket. Do you call it a cricket?
I call it cricket. I don't know why, because it's not spelled cricket, but I call it a cricket machine.
But anyway, it's the weeding, the actual. So it takes time, and I don't enjoy it because I just don't find it very satisfying. It's not like it prints off and I think, oh my god, that's so pretty. So I do all that first, and also with the vinyl, I can do them weeks and weeks in advance. Right. That's no problem. Whereas obviously, depending on the event, if they have balloons in the event, balloons can only be done so far in advance. A bit like yourself with cakes, I assume.
Yeah.
So a standard week. Mondays are normally clearing down leftovers of anything that's not been cleared down over the weekend if things need to be cleared down, sorting the unit out with regards to, because over the weekend it's literally just like reload the van, back in, drop stuff off, reload the van, back out. So there's just multiple jobs throughout the weekend.
When you say unit,
it's a double garage that's just been converted.
Yeah.
So obviously there's just stuff everywhere throughout the weekend.
Yeah.
In and out as fast as I can. So then Monday comes, clearing down everything and just resorting it out because it's a health and safety hazard.
It's a health and safety hazard. Also, that is part of time management because I'm very bad at leaving things that's not important. So for me, I'd be thinking, that's not an important job, I need to get back to my emails. But for you to actually think, no, on a Monday, I need to make sure that unit is cleared down, ready to go. Because if not, it's going to have a knock-on effect.
Yes.
For the rest
and
of the
also, I do that as well because of the care of the props.
True, yeah.
Because obviously they can get damaged, and if there are any props that have been slightly chipped or whatever from the weekend, which these things happen over time, then they can be sanded down and repainted. They can be, if they need to be fixed, they can be fixed. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'd rather know that on a Monday than come Thursday, Friday, and I'm like, oh my god, this is to go out in an hour, and it's got a big chip in it or a scratch on it, that kind of thing. Tuesdays is obviously podcast recording
day, woohoo!
And Tuesdays I also do any orders of stock that I need for that weekend.
Yeah.
And then, to be honest with you, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday are my busiest days with events, so my time management skills just go out the window, if I'm honest with you. It depends on what jobs I have in and the timings of when I need to be at places.
Yeah.
For me, if I say I need to be somewhere at 9 o'clock, if I'm there at 5 to 9, I class myself as late.
That for me, that's ridiculously early. If I'm there at 5 to 9, I'm early.
But I think as well, because I travel about a lot, I have to bear in mind traffic.
Ooh. Have you ever had it where you've been stuck in a traffic jam and it's just delayed you? And
yeah, and it stresses me out.
Yeah,
and then
it would stress me out.
I'm stressed then when I get there.
Mm.
And obviously, like, the client probably doesn't see that, but in my head, I'm like, oh my god!
In your head.
Like, and it's just everything has a knock-on effect there.
Yes, yeah. And you'll feel like you're not doing the job well enough because your head's not in it, because you're too busy recovering from the stressful drive. So
for me, with regards to this podcast, I was a bit apprehensive in the sense of, like, what can I talk about? Because my time management, if somebody said to me, how do you manage your time? I genuinely am like, I do manage it well.
Yeah.
I think. But I can't exactly tell you how I do that. I don't have a structure to it. I don't have systems to it. But I think that comes down to the fact that I work alone.
I was about to say, you've got your own time to manage.
For you, I imagine that's very different because you have a shop that's open certain days and times. You have a unit, you have staff and things like that. So what's your week like?
Oh my gosh. So, my typical week on a Monday is my admin day. So that's when I'm going through and making invoices, I'm going through all of my emails, I'm doing accountancy bits, like putting my receipts in. I'm saying this is a good week, by the way. Let me tell you now, this rarely ever happens because it might be that I'll have left my receipts at home and I can't do that from at the unit. Like, there's so much stuff that gets in the way of me having a productive week, and this is what I'm trying to smooth out.
Yeah.
Kind of, like, I'm such a higgledy-piggledy person. I'm very creative, and that's like my strong point. My weakest point is being organised, and if you know me, I'm always late, which people hate me for, and I do hate myself for it as well. I'm always late, and I'm very much like leave things till the last minute. So I'm very good at, what's the word? When it's really busy, but you can just get on with things.
Working better under pressure.
Yeah.
I work much better under pressure.
Yeah.
I always have done, even like at uni.
Yeah.
Like my dissertation and assignments, I left them until ridiculous last minute.
Yeah, like literally, I'd be staying up till like, if the deadline was 3 a.m, I'd be putting it in at 2:59.
Yeah, 100%.
Like.
So,
and I've just not got. I really, really struggle to find that like motivation to get things done before the deadline.
But then how good does it feel when you do it on that one occasion?
Gosh. Like for me, one of my things is cake toppers. I always leave them till the last minute, and before I've had it where like the cricket system, it'll be like
the maintenance.
Oh my god, the freaking maintenance, the amount of times that's like nearly cocked me up. And I think Nancy, why have you not done this 2 days before? Because you wouldn't be stressed right now. And it's so stupid. But I think I get overwhelmed, and when I get overwhelmed, I kind of switch off, which is the worst thing to do. So now I'm working on being organised, getting things done, and you just feel 10 times better.
That old phrase of working smarter, not harder.
Yes.
Like, what even does that mean though? Everyone says it. Work smarter, not harder.
Yeah. I'm kind of getting to know it though now. I think because I've been doing, this has like been the first year for us that we've not changed anything. Like we've had the shop now for, well, it's going to be the shop's second birthday next week. But we've like we get into a good routine now. So now I kind of know what my typical week should be, and now I'm starting to work smarter, not harder.
Do you find it easy to delegate tasks to the staff? So, for example, you're saying that a good week should look like this. Should, say, for example, one of the girls came in and they said, "What do you want me to do today, Nancy?" Can you easily give them enough work that you know will last them the day?
Yes and no. So sometimes I'll get the girls in to the bakery, and I might have 3 members of staff working, and actually they can't get on and do extra prep, they can't get on and do extra things for me because I've not got the supplies, the to-do list, I've not got stuff in place.
Nancy! So you basically thrown away money there. You to stand around.
So obviously it's not any fault of their own. And more often than not at the bakery it's manic and there's always stuff to do, but there's been so many times recently where they've been like, Nancy, I can't do that because I've not got greaseproof paper, and I can't do this because I've not got chocolate chips. So I'm like, why have I not got this stock order? Why have I not like realised that we need to stock? Like, and sometimes, you know, things get missed and like it might not be on my shopping list, so I've not ordered it in. But more often than not, I've just like not looked at the shopping list. It's things like that has such a bad knock-on effect that I think, why did I not look at that shopping list rather than assuming I knew? And it's things like that where I'm trying now to like pick up on these things and I'm learning from it. So that's where we're at the moment. And I think it does come with experience, and it does come, like with you said, you do have to be adaptable to the changes in your circumstances. So I went from doing the cakes from home where I only had myself to worry about, and now I've got like all of a sudden in the space of a year I've got a team of 10.
That's the thing. So if I have weekends where I have people working for me, it's funny because I know exactly what they need to do.
Yeah.
Because I think to myself, God, I'd hate for them to come and think, well, we were stood around for I don't know how long. So I can prioritise things for other people.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? So if I knew...
So it comes down to it.
When it comes down to it, I can.
Yeah.
Whereas I think you just literally just by yourself dive in head first, not even 2-footed. You dive in head first and think, I'll come up at some point.
Yes.
And it'll all be done.
Yeah.
For me, it's as long as the end result is nailed on and perfect, then that's fine. The amount of times, for example, this weekend, I was meant to clear down a job on Monday, but it was bank holiday, so they said, we're not open, you need to come on Saturday. And that for me, I was like, oh God. So I need to fit in a clear down in North Yorkshire on Saturday when I've got other jobs on. How am I meant to do that? Then I had other jobs come in, so I was flying here left, right and centre. But somehow you just do it, don't you?
You just get on with it. But did that mean that you were working later? Like
Yeah,
a lot later than what?
Yeah,
but
could my time management skills have been better there? I don't know, it was out of my control.
Yeah, so that couldn't be that. No, that was out of your control.
Are there any systems that you use that you find helpful with regards to your time management?
Yes. So I currently am massive on to-do lists. So not so much the girls in the shop. They just have their days are pretty much the same in the sense that they come in to work, they start, they have the counter to set up, they have the savoury prep to do. Like their to-do lists are just the same. So they get on, they know what they're doing. The actual day is normally completely crazy because it could be really busy and they've got afternoon teas on, that kind of stuff. So that's where it differentiates, but again, they know what they're doing, they just get on with it. Whereas the bakery, that's where we need the to-do list, because that's where like we don't just make the shop stock, we make all of the custom orders.
Yeah.
So we're massive on to-do lists. So in the morning the girls will get a to-do list if I've actually got on and done it. That's normally where I'm really rubbish and I've not got on and done it and they're waiting on me. So yeah, we use to-do lists, and I use a system called Notion. Have you heard of it?
No.
It is amazing. It's changed my life.
All right.
So it's kind of like a big hub where you can make loads of to-do lists, but then you can separate them into projects. So like I've got a project called Bakery To-Do List, and we work typically on like a 4-week rotation of like the flavours for the shop products.
Yeah.
So like there's 4 weeks of to-do lists where they're all made up, ready to go, and now all I do is enter the different celebration cakes, custom orders, all of that kind of stuff that changes weekly. So the actual to-do lists are all there ready to go.
Nice.
I just make the changes to them.
So that must help you.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. It's life-changing. And also little things like having all of the flavours written down at the bakery unit so the girls know exactly what flavours they're doing. It's like lots of like, what's the word? I want to say paperwork, lots of paperworky bits that that I've had to spend time doing, like recipes. We've got all the recipes written down, like how many crunches we use and a brownie, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I've had to do lots of prep on that side of things. But now it's making everything flow so much easier.
Yeah, so initially you've had to put a lot of work into it, but in the long run it's really helped you with regards to the time.
Absolutely. So I'd say especially if you've got people working for you and you need to give them direction, to-do lists and stuff like where you can like get them set up. Like we used to, when we first started doing the brownies and stuff for the shop, I used to just pick flavours out of my head. Just on the day I'd be like, okay, let's do it. We've got loads of flakes, let's do a flake brownie. And the girls would be like, okay, so what's actually in this flake brownie? And I'd literally just reel it off and and it'd change every time, so we were lacking consistency. Like I might tell, Emily how to do the brownie, but then she might not be in the next week, so then I'm having to retell it to Paige, and it's just stuff like that that slows you down.
Yeah.
And I cannot tell you the difference it's made by having those things in place.
That's good then.
Yes.
So would you recommend Notion to people?
I would highly recommend Notion.
A little play about.
Yeah, you have to. I'm not sure if you need a subscription to it or not. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it's free, or at least so much of it's free, and then you might have to buy like extra storage or something. But yeah, have a play, and it's so good because like your to-do list then are there ready to go.
That's good.
Yeah, I highly recommend. So that's like I live by Notion. Like Notion for now is like my Bible. What do you think are your top tools that you use? For like either managing your diary?
Yeah, so I suppose tool-wise, I literally live off my iPhone diary. Yeah.
Do you use
my
emails?
Calendar? So I have emails, and a lot of my work comes through social media, but a lot of my corporate stuff comes through emails.
Yeah.
And I'm also part of this, there's a site called Add to Event that people can go on, and if they need something for an event, and then basically it comes to a lot of suppliers, and I'm one of those
I think I've seen.
So they come through email. So yes, I do get emails, but a lot of it's social media. I suppose for myself, with regards to time management, I prioritise my inquiries.
Okay.
That's up there as an absolute top notch for me.
How do you mean?
So I like to make sure I've responded to people within
like
a maximum 48 hours. If it's any longer, I'll put something on my social saying, bear with me, for example, I do it sometimes at weekends if it's an absolute carnage weekend where I think, I know I'm not, because I appreciate sometimes people sit down at a weekend and like, right, I want to start looking at my baby shower, so I'll start, so they send an inquiry through at weekends where actually that's my busiest time and I don't want them to think I'm ignoring them. So responding to inquiries, I would put up there as an absolute top priority.
Which it is important.
Because I think without responding to the inquiries, there'd be no business anyway.
Absolutely.
Because for me, I think if I don't go back to them, we're just going to go somewhere else.
Yeah. For me, that's...
Please don't go somewhere else.
That's my biggest downfall as well, my inquiries, because again, I get so overwhelmed. Because I don't know about you, but do you have to go back to lots of different aspects?
Yeah, so, someone will just come and say, I'm thinking of having a baby shower on the 27th of October. Can you do that?
Yeah.
So then I go back and say, yes, I do have availability, but where is it? What kind of thing are you thinking of? So then we end up going backwards and forwards, and there's a bit of a conversation that happens.
Yeah.
It's not just like they fill it, it's not like they're ordering offline and say, I'll have that please on this date. So we go backwards and forwards about a lot of things. So that's one of the reasons sometimes if I know I haven't physically got the time to emerge in a conversation with somebody, I will put something on saying, just bear with me a little bit. But I like to at least respond back to somebody and say, thanks very much for your message. Hi, yes, we do have availability, or what kind of thing are you looking for within 48 hours? Yeah. That for me is an absolute priority, and I think that's one of the reasons why I live off the calendar on my phone.
Wow.
Because wherever I am, I can jump on and say, yes, we have availability, or no, sorry, we don't have availability. I've actually got to a stage now, it's really quite nice, where people come to me and say, I'm just using baby shower as an example. I'm wanting my baby shower in September, when are you free?
Oh, that's
Which is really nice.
Yeah.
So at least I can go back to them, because then they need to find a venue and things like that.
Perfect.
So for me, it's not an all singing, all dancing system. It's literally my calendar.
Do you ever forget? Like, is it easy for you to keep on top of your because one thing I find I really struggle with Instagram and DMs, and this is why I don't use DMs anymore, was because I was losing so many conversations with people, like, you know, like reacting to your Instagram stories and stuff like that, that I'd then lose somebody's conversation.
Yes.
And, or like that person would react to my Instagram and then I'd not see their other bits of conversation.
Yeah,
so
it has happened a few times where, like you say, either I've opened a message accidentally mid-job, or they've reacted to a story and therefore I've missed their message above, and then they'll resend a message a few days later. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, like, I opened this.
Yeah.
But I think that's one of the reasons why I like to keep it within a 48-hour time frame, so it's fresh.
It's easier for you to
It's
keep
fresh
on top.
for me to just keep on top of things.
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw it out there though, when somebody just sends me a question mark.
Oh my god!
Like, I really appreciate you're really keen, but a question mark isn't going to do anything
For me, it's rude, and I can't. I'm sorry, but if you're going to follow up, because then there's people that do follow up, and following up isn't the issue for me whatsoever. It's the simple question mark. If you're waiting on a reply, say, "Hi, just wondering if you got my last message." That is so much more polite than the question mark, and I will stand by that. I think I really struggle with it.
Also, I don't know about you, but I work bottom to top.
Yeah.
So it's the first inquiry that came in is what I go to first.
Yeah.
So if you send a question mark, you're putting yourself back up to the top.
To the top. Yeah, for what?
But yeah, so that's my priority, and then my second priority would be obviously my stock.
Yes.
So in answer to your question, no, I don't really have any systems that I use other than my calendar, which I literally live by. Like, every night when I go to bed, I look, right, what I've got on tomorrow and what I've got on the next few days. Every night I do it in case something else has cropped up into it.
Yeah.
Even down to just the littlest thing that I've got booked in, like, I've managed to get into the chiropractors tonight. That's gone straight in. Do you know what I mean?
Candice is looking a bit stiff. She's got a very
and if this video actually goes on, I've woke up and been like, I can't move my neck. But like, that's gone in, even though I know it's there. I only booked an appointment this morning, but I live by it. Nothing I do.
So is your personal diary and your business diary one combined? Because I think if you're self-employed, your business is your life.
It is. There's just no difference.
Yeah.
That's what. Although I don't have much of a personal life these days, so that's very minimal. But yeah, they are in there.
Yeah, brilliant.
What would you say if someone came to you and said, "Right, Nancy, I need 3 tips for time management"? What would you say?
Okay. Number 1, get Notion. Honestly, I feel like it would change your life. If you love a to-do list, if you like everything being in one place, get Notion.
Right.
You can insert tables, you can do all sorts. So yeah, please get that. If you've got any questions about it, let me know and I can answer them as best I can. I'm no expert. It's one of them things where people can do all sorts on it. So I'm no expert, but yes, get Notion for to-do lists. My second tip is try and get stuff done in advance. Any prep that you can do for, if you're making orders, if you can do prep in advance, do it. Don't procrastinate like me. Is it procrastinate or procrastinate? Procrastinate. Oh, it's one of them that I've said it too much now. Yeah. Anyway, that word. Don't do that. If you can, try and get stuff done in advance, because you're going to thank yourself for it later on down the line when things go mental. You're chaos, you're crazy busy. You'll be like, thank God I made those toppers in advance. And my last,
so
it does.
It
And
so
I've got Lisa Leach in my ear saying, I told you should have done it sooner. Aren't you glad I made you do this sooner? But yes, please do stuff in advance. And the third one, which I've just got into using at the minute and I really enjoy, time blocking. So I will time block my time, especially on my admin days where I'm in control. I will say, right, Nancy, you've got 2 hours to reply to emails. Sit down, just do emails. And then once that 2 hours is up, if I've got other jobs that I need to do, I'll leave my emails, I'll come back to them, I'll do my other job, like as soon as that alarm goes off.
No, see the thing is, I like the idea of that, time blocking, but once you're on a roll with something, think, oh, I'm on a roll with it now, I may as well.
That's what I struggled with, but then I'd end up doing all my emails and I'd leave my invoices, so then it'd get to the end of the day and I've not done any invoices, whereas at least I'm balancing and getting bits of everything done, and I'm working my way down my inquiries, I'm working my way down like my list of finance crap that I've got to do with the accountant, and for me that means that I'm getting more done. But I get what you mean, and that's what I've struggled with. If I was in the email zone, I'm in the zone.
I do
Don't
get
me out of
it.
it. Yeah. What are your 3 tips?
I would say prioritize like what is important right now.
Yeah.
So, for example, if you don't do X, is that going to affect the actual outcome?
Yeah.
Don't always think, oh, I'll do this because I like doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Really need to prioritise what needs to be done and be cutthroat with it.
Yeah.
And I would say, like, don't be afraid to delegate. If it's going to help make your life easier and save you time in the long run, if you do have people to delegate to, don't be afraid to do it. Yeah. That is one thing I struggled with a little bit at first, when I first started having people come in helping out. I think to myself, well, I am paying them. It's not just a quick little favour.
Yeah.
So therefore, actually give them something to do, which then helps save time.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to delegate where jobs that you can and where you can.
I think that comes back to as well earlier on when I was saying, like, when you get things, you spend time, so you might spend a bit more, you might spend an extra 10 minutes showing somebody how to do something, but once they know how to do something, it'll then be easier down the line.
Yeah, definitely.
I agree with that.
I suppose I will recommend scheduling in the sense of like the time blocking and things like that, because I know it does work. But for me, I'm just one of them people that I want them in the zone with something to get in the zone. But definitely, I think time blocking really helps in the sense of, like you say, you're invoicing, you kind of like, none of us like doing that.
No, God,
I have a little wallet in the door of the van that all my receipts go straight into that wallet.
Oh, that's good.
They go straight in there.
Yeah.
But then it's, really, I should block out time each week to be like, right, let's put these receipts where they need to be, let's upload them and things like that. Do I?
Yeah.
Not all the time.
No. Realistically, I think the things that we've spoken about today are on a good week. Like for me, the time blocking and all things like that are a good week, and you need to try and stick to it because it will help you down the line.
Yes.
But you can't take away from the fact that in the moment, where if it's a crazy week, you don't get time to reply to emails, like you say, you might be an extra day behind with your DMs, and you might get back to them. So please don't hold us accountable and think, wow, that's so organised. They do all these things to make themselves be really on it, because like if you're self-employed, you'll know that there's so much stuff that pops up out of nowhere that really screws up your week and screws up your to-do list, and that's just business life. So, but having these things in place and being organised does help. Like when these things come about, say if something comes up and I was meant to do my cake toppers, if I've actually already done them, then that doesn't matter.
You are already winning at life.
So it's fine. Yeah, I can
winning at life. Talking of cake toppers and celebrations. So in my diary, when I was looking through what's coming up over the next few weeks, I noticed that we have Cakes by Nancy's shop's second birthday.
2 years since we opened the doors to the cake shop.
That is mad, that.
Isn't it? Where's that gone?
So that, according to my diary, is Wednesday the 6th of September.
That rings a bell.
Is that right?
I think it might, I don't know if it's, in my head I've got the 4th, but
next week anyway.
Yeah, next week.
So, next week, can we talk all things Kate's by Nancy? I think we should put you on the spotlight. Can we have a Bizzy Babes Kate's by Nancy birthday party next week?
Shall we? Oh,
and let's talk all things Kate's by Nancy.
Yeah,
you know, like, what's your goals, where you are, you know, how big is it going?
Yeah.
Are we going to be sat here celebrating your 20th birthday, or are we going to be sat in your like London cake hall or your Leeds cake hall? Do you know? I want to know it all.
Okay.
I want to know it all. We've got it 2 years down the line.
Ask me anything. You ask me anything. People that's listening, ask me anything. Send in your questions, and put me on the spotlight, and I'll answer them.
And you know, things like, are there any exciting new
the
bakes
juiciness,
coming?
the bakes, you know, what's that my actual life like?
Have you ever got a cake completely wrong and just sat waiting for the client to tell
Oh
you?
my god, there'd be a couple of horror stories. If you want to get the horror stories, let me know.
I think that's what we should do next week.
Okay, I'm game for that. That would be so much fun. So if you're listening, send in your questions ready for next week, and I'll answer them.
And then after next week, I think we should put a little poll on just to see what other topics people want us to talk about. Do they just want a general chit chat with me and you?
Yeah.
What topics do they want?
Yeah. Is there anything you want us, you know, any silly, funny stuff like stories that you want us to tell you about what we get up to? Maybe, I'm going to throw this out there, we could do a day in the life.
A day in the life.
A day in the life. Like, I'm not sure.
I wish we had a film crew. Like, Nancy, do you want to
follow us around? Oh my gosh, I could be the film crew. Let us know if you want a day in the life. Like, might be more of a YouTube video than a podcast, but that's something that we could do.
Yeah. Or like little snippets of interviews with people.
Yeah.
Or like, oh my god, can I come to the bakery for a day?
Yeah.
I like bake a brownie.
I'd be like, right, make yourself a cake. 3, 2, 1, there's the ingredients, make yourself one.
Yeah, okay. So we've got lots of things coming up, but I thought next week would be a good one to talk all things Kate's by Nancy.
Yay, that's
happy
exciting.
birthday. Well, we say happy birthday, it's happy birthday to the shop.
To the shop, yes, because
going.
It's so funny because I always say, I don't know what birthday to celebrate, because there's pretty much like 7 birthdays that we could celebrate.
Yeah.
Like the bakery one, like when Nancy went self-employed, that was like always my OG birthday for the business, so yeah. I mean, maybe we'll celebrate more.
Let's celebrate.
When's your birthday?
Birthday? 25th of September.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
So then we've got that coming up as well.
25th of September. But then, like you say, we could have like these, like, that's when Land of Love was born.
Yeah.
But what about this year when I went
like
solo?
Yeah.
Solo,
baby.
baby.
Proper full-time
So yeah,
business.
there's loads, but you know, I do events, you do cakes, we're all for every occasion. And I also, I'm just going to throw this one out there.
Right.
I would like to arrange a Christmas get-together for Bizzy Babes.
For our listeners?
I wasn't going to mention it until September because I feel like I can't mention Christmas until September, but the August bank holiday's over now, so I feel like it's
now it's autumn.
It's autumn.
It's autumn, which means the start of the festivities.
Would you like, listeners, a Bizzy Babes Christmas get-together?
Yeah. So we could talk like a little bit of a social networking.
Yeah, social event.
Yeah.
Do you know, obviously we'll create like goodie bags with everybody's business cards in, how people can help each other.
Like a bit of a live Q&A, like a live podcast kind of situation. Like us chatting, we could get some guests in there.
Right. Yeah, I think we should discuss this in more detail on another podcast. And then I just wanted to, let's put the feelers out there.
Yes.
Would you be interested? This is another thing that we'll put on the stories.
You guys are going to have lots of Instagram content this week that you've got to get involved in.
Would you be interested in a Bizzy Babes? It will be in Sheffield.
Yes.
So, you know, I know we have a lot of people that aren't from Sheffield, but either car share, get yourselves up, get a hotel for the night, make a Christmas festive outing. Yeah, if so, we'll get a little date in the diary.
Yeah. It'll be so good as well for if anybody is like a business self-employed, you know, doing it solo. It can be your little Christmas do shenanigans.
Great networking event.
Yeah.
Because obviously, you know, we're here to help other people and introduce other people.
Yeah.
So we would very much encourage people to bring. Oh my gosh, I've literally just brought that off the top of my head.
God,
And
I
my
can
mind
see
is
the cogs turning.
now running away with me. So yeah, right, got loads for socials this week.
Amazing. We have. Well, thank you so much for listening to us again. We really appreciate it. Fingers crossed there's no technical glitches
And
with
if
this
you
one.
have enjoyed it, please leave us a little review.
Review, yes.
Please give us some feedback on socials. We love
Yeah,
it.
we love it. We love you. I love it when I see a little comment that's like, we listened this week, girls. It was amazing.
Oh,
That's so nice.
Right,
Thank you.
amazing. Thank you, and see you next week.
Love you lots. Bye.
Bye.